God help me. God help you. I'll pray for you. I don't want to be an adult, but I have to be an adult. That's probably not going to be the cover, but well, bye. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Danny Taylor, and today we are doing a updated tattoo tour. So taking out the 2 tattoos that I now have covered up, I have 20 tattoos in total. As of right now, we don't have any plans for 2019 to get any more tattoos. We being my husband and I. So my next one wouldn't be until probably March or April of 2020. I'm not going to go into too much detail on most of these tattoos. I have done a previous video. I'll link it whichever side it's on. It's cringy. It's awful. I hate it. I will not rewatch it myself. So that's your warning that it's awful. Hopefully this one is a lot less cringy to you. But I'm going to go over the ones that I have gotten, starting from the first one I ever got to the last one I got most recently. Some of these I'm going to tell you the artist, some I am not. I will have all the Instagrams of the artists that I am supporting down below, so you'll be able to find them if you wish. For these, for instance, it was a place in Montgomery. That's all I'm going to say. My first 2 tattoos I got on my 20th birthday. That was June 1st, 2013. I no longer would get a tattoo from this person. Thankfully, I don't even think they live in this area anymore, but my first 2 tattoos were the cross that is hidden in this little section of my arm over here. It was not hidden originally, obviously, because this used to not be here. And then also in that same day, I got a sparrow on this side. It is very old, so these are what, 6 years old now. The cross is going to stay the same. I do have plans to rework the bird eventually, either completely covering over it or to try to get a new bird on top of it if it can be covered well. Something's gonna happen there. Next, I got an anchor as a Black Friday thing. It was $13 plus a $7 tip, so $20 total. And that was a year later on June 13th of 2014. It's covered up. So, okay, my next one is the first color tattoo that I have. This was my Hedgehog Piper. I got it October 4th of 2014 by Rosalind. I don't currently have her last name. If she is still in Arizona, then that's where she was at the last time I checked, but at the time she was in Birmingham, Alabama. Next, from the same artist that did my first tattoos, I had a rose done to cover up the anchor. I don't even have a picture of it. I hated it. It was a waste of money. It wasn't done well. I was overcharged for it, considering what I paid to later on have it covered up. You'll understand. But it was done February 14th of 2015. So that following year, June 1st, I got my foot done. That foot piece also came up onto my ankle to cover up the rose that was covering up the anchor. And I paid $50 more for the entire foot plus the covering up, when this original one I'm telling you was like smaller than that. It was pretty tiny. It was maybe that big. I got the rest of my foot done for $250 by Britttuggtattoo. This is my main artist in the area that I go to when I'm not getting a guest artist or visiting somewhere special. This is my main girl. This is the girl that has done a majority of my tattoos, so you're gonna see plenty of her from here on. But Brittany did my foot. It was very painful. It is the only tattoo that I have split into 2 sessions. So the first one was on my birthday of 2015, so June 1st, and then I came back a little bit over a month later on July 8th to finish it up, and I think it's still looking pretty daggum good. They do say that foot tattoos typically fade a lot due to constantly wearing shoes. I do wear socks every day and closed-toed shoes, so it's being rubbed apparently, but I still think it looks pretty daggum awesome. October 16th of 2015, also by Brittany, I got my Semicolon tattoo. If you don't know about the Semicolon project, it's pretty much based off of like mental health awareness. I've struggled with problems with it, as well as a good friend of mine lost the battle to suicide eventually. We were teenagers, so I got this just as my reminder that we keep going. It was based off of a quote by an author. A semicolon is used when an author could have chosen to end the sentence but chose not to. The author is you and the sentence is your life. So that is that. And then also on that day, I got a Halloween piece, also by Brittany, that to this day is still one of my favorites. I can't really pick a favorite. I mean, it's like trying to choose between your children, but I freaking love Halloween. So I adore this piece. It is so cute, and oh, I love it. Next, because I'm an idiot and a glutton for punishment, because by the way, the foot sucks, I went and got my left foot tattooed just a little bit on March 18th of 2016. It is the Big Dipper. Eventually I might get the Little Dipper and some Cosmo-y looking stuff, but I cannot convince myself to go get my foot tattooed anymore, because even that little 30-minute Big Dipper tattoo, it wasn't even 30 minutes, but it was torture. I don't like getting my foot tattooed, so for now that foot is gonna stay that way, but it's cute. It is by Brittany and I love Brittany. Next, again by Brittany, this one was already planned before I got the Big Dipper. I was just in town and kind of on a whim had gotten that one done, but then I already had this one scheduled in on March 25th of 2016. I got my Shears comb and mirror that is on my right arm. I'm a hairstylist. I love like vintage type style stuff, so I got a vintage set of shears and combs and a mirror. Also done by Brittany, of course, because she's my girl. I love her. It turned out beautifully. After that, kind of on a whim, because one of my friends wanted to go get it done, I went to the place that must not be named, but to a different artist. He was apprenticing at the time. I don't even know if he still does tattoos. He's mainly a piercer, but I got a little Voodoo Doll that was $13 plus a $7 tip, so $20. So he is there. He's cute. He's by my Halloween piece, so it kind of makes sense, but I'll probably eventually have him covered up when I need that space for something else. Next, with my at the time boyfriend, a few months later to be fiance, and then 10 months later to be husband, we went and got our fingers / hands done. We both did get a Promise. I got his handwriting, he got my handwriting. We got pinky promise, and then also that day I got a bobby pin. I got a bobby pin on that hand that is 2 inches long total. So if someone ever asks what 2 inches is like, I'm like, bloop, this is what 2 inches of your hair would be. And then there's a little, well, there was a little notch that showed me where the 1 inch would be. It desperately needs a touch up. My Promise has been touched up once, my bobby pin has not. Next, I got my color wheel and brush tattoo. That was April 1st of 2017, and it is probably one of my most commented on and complimented tattoos in person, but it is my color wheel that I can use for hair and like demonstrations, and just because I wanted an excuse to have a rainbow on the side of my arm. It does need a touch up because I was bad and picked at it a lot when it was healing. Again, it was done by Brittany, and it is still so bright. I mean, I know it's 2 years old exactly as of at the beginning of the month, but it is still super bright. Thank you, Brittany. Next, on my honeymoon and also Halloween of 2017, I got my unicorn. Her name is Savannah because we went to Savannah to get it done. Ashley Cox at Custom Hustle Tattoo in Savannah, Georgia did my unicorn. I believe at the time she was an apprentice. She was very proud. I'm very proud. I love it. It's my little unicorn. It's precious. Now we're stepping into the tattoos that I've gotten since the last video. The last one that I had at the time of making that video was the unicorn. So from here on out, it is all new stuff. April 7th of 2018, I got all of this done because I hate myself and wanted to have a Hulk arm for a week. These are essentially some of my favorite flowers, and also most of them were part of my wedding bouquet. So it's just some of my favorite flowers to fill in all the random space around my existing tattoos, and just because I wanted them. There's also like a little hidden skull there, also by Brittany. Next is one of the days that I fangirled more than I have ever fangirled for a tattoo appointment. That is when I got my Lady Face by Eva Jean. You might have seen her on Ink Master. She and her husband were on the show. They are from Alabama, so I didn't know that someone that like did stuff like that was in Alabama, so of course we had to go visit her, and that was kind of my birthday present to myself. So that was June 16th of 2018. So I got a lady face. August 30th of 2018, I got the Sacred Heart tattoo. Drew is typically at Stay Gold in Birmingham, Alabama, but he came to Montgomery for a little guest spot for a week, and since we went to high school and middle school together, I thought I should support an old friend. So he has this cool art style that kind of reminds me of like stained glass almost. I don't know, it's just so different and I freaking love it. So I just went through his pre-drawn designs and picked out this heart. Again, I was bad. I picked, it needs a touch up. I'm sorry, Drew. Next time he's in town, I'll probably get a piece from him, have him also retouch it while we're there. My next one was October 29th of 2018. We were in New Orleans celebrating our first wedding anniversary. So we visited Space Tiger Tattoo, and I went to Jamie Winn, and Jamie did this Luna moth on me that I absolutely love. It is so funny because I'm not a big fan of bugs, but something about moths I just love. Maybe it's because they're like the butterflies of the night. Like, they're just so cute and I love them. So I got a Luna moth, and it is very New Orleans looking to me just because of the color scheme, but it's because it's what Luna moths look like. It's another favorite. I don't have a favorite, but it's another favorite. So if you go to New Orleans, that is the best shop I could find. I spent hours, days probably, looking for decent tattoo shops. It's a very touristy area, so you expect to see a bunch of smaller and not that great looking tattoo places, but this is like the best that I could find. They are so good. They are so talented. She was like a little angel. I freaking adored her. Oh, and also they came in on their off day to get us in because they were so booked up that they still wanted us to be able to get our pieces, so they came in on their off day because they're nice like that. Next, if you want to hear more in detail what I got, it is one of my last videos. I'll link it somewhere so you can find it. But we went to Literary Ink, and kind of on a whim the day before our already scheduled tattoos, I found this flash by Alexis Gillenwater. She's originally in New Albany, Indiana, but she was visiting Literary Ink in Chattanooga, Tennessee, and I found this little flash by her, so I got it. She does a lot of like anime and cartoony flash is what she had besides her Harry Potter stuff, and of course I love Sailor Moon, so I got a little Luna head. And then the next day of February 3rd of 2019 at Literary Ink, the tattoo that I already had scheduled and probably now my most fangirled tattoo experience was with Ashleyluka, where I got my Mulan tattoo. She tattoos out of the UK originally, but she was visiting Literary Ink in Chattanooga, Tennessee, so I had to jump on the chance to be able to get tattooed by her. She gave me this beautiful Mulan piece, of course half of her as a warrior and half of her as her geisha self, and it came out so beautiful and I love it so much. I mean, I stare at her a lot and I can see her in the mirror when I'm doing hair, and it's great. So like, it's funny that when I'm in the mirror I can see mostly just her geisha self, and then when I look down I can just mostly see the warrior side of her. And finally, my most recent tattoo was kind of another on the whim. This was with Bree Stallworth. She tattoos out of McDonough, Georgia, but she was doing a guest spot in Montgomery at Halcyon Tattoo Studio. She usually does a lot of black work actually, and I really adore her black work, so eventually she's gonna probably add on to this upper arm up here. But I wanted to get something from her. I always have. I try to catch her when she's in town, and this time I didn't even know she was gonna be in town. I just saw her post of like, I have one spot left for a small tattoo in Montgomery on this day, and I'm like, excuse me, hello. I got in with her and got this little mermaid lipstick that's got little bubbles and sparkles and sprinkles, and it's so cute, and it filled in this really awkward space that I had between the bottom of Mulan to my wrist that otherwise I don't know what I was gonna put there. That came out absolutely beautifully and I adore it. Hope I didn't go through those too fast, but again, I didn't want it to be too long of a video and I didn't want to go too much detail. If you really want to know backstories on some of it, I went into more detail with the first one that I did. Again, warning, it's cringy, it's awful, you don't want to watch it, but if you do for some reason want to watch it, it'll be linked. Okay, you guys, that is it for this week's video. I hope you enjoyed. If this was your first time seeing me, thank you for joining. I know sometimes these tattoo videos get a bunch of like random people that have never been to my channel before, so hi. Thanks for joining. Hit the subscribe button. I do a lot of videos based off of like tattoos, so like tattoo artists that I like, tattooed artists that I want to be tattooed by, tattoo updates and vlogs, as well as books. I like makeup and I do hair. There's always something going on over here, so if you want to find out what's going on in my life every other week, just join me. Thank you guys so much for joining me, and I will see you guys next week for another video. Bye!